Well, out here glassing for Coues deer in the morning. That's kind of my strategy is every morning right at first light, you want to be out here. It's just masses of public land, and there's no way you can hunt even a fraction of this, let alone all of it. But the deer hunting is the big part of what draws me down here. This will be my 4th year. The prior 3 years I've gotten close, but have yet to release an arrow. Every time I've had stalks, they got me under 40 yards, but it's just that hard. Getting within archery range and then getting a shot, I'm discovering, are two very different things. It's just a really cool time to be here, and it allows you to have the deer hunting in the morning and then small game or quail or whatever you want to do in the afternoon when it warms up. But these deer are really unique. Yeah, they're a subspecies of the whitetail, very small. Like when you say subspecies, we're talking like subspecies. They're so small. And Arizona Game and Fish has a guy who works for him, Jim Heffelfinger. If you read Boone and Crockett publications or the Wildlife Society stuff, Jim's a prolific writer and very, very informed on all this stuff. And he's got a book called Deer of the Southwest that really gets into not just Coues deer, but all the deer of the Southwest. Mule deer, Coues deer, but if I know anyone as an expert in Coues deer, it's Jim Heffelfinger. So
the Coues whitetail deer are distributed throughout southeastern Arizona, some central Arizona, and southwestern New Mexico, and down into the northern Sierra Madre of Mexico. Named after Elliott Coues, an early Army surgeon and naturalist that worked a lot in Arizona and through the Southwest. And it's actually the only subspecies of whitetail deer that's broken out by Boone and Crockett and Pope and Young record books as a separate category. And they do that because it has such physical differences in ecology and how it lives and the kind of landscape it lives in, and genetic differences. So it really represents a pretty good subspecies as subspecies go.
Big Hank is right over there about 1,000 yards. And I'm going to go close about 900 of those yards and then sit down. He's going to walk towards me instead of me towards him. I'm going to shoot him at 18 yards. You heard it here first. So what I'm going to do, I got a perpendicular wind. I'm going to get as close as I possibly can. They're about 500 yards out there. And I'm going to set up. They're in that little basin. There's 2 mature bucks, 1 really nice buck, a little young buck, and a group of does, and they're just rutting in there. I'm going to get as close as I can without the wind messing me up and see if they just eventually come past. I think that's the buck. He's got his head behind a tree. He's looking our way.
Rather than living in the forest or in agricultural areas like a lot of white-tailed deer that people are familiar with, the Coues white-tailed deer is just out here in this rugged, rocky, brushy landscape in the Southwest. So they have to make a living with limited groceries, which is related to why their body size is so much smaller. Deer normally are eating what we would call weeds, little broadleaf plants that come up after the rainfall, which are high in nutrition, high in vitamins, but really not available except for a few months after each of the rainy periods. And so then they've got to subsist the rest of the year just on a lot of acacias, a lot of mesquites, and a lot of the browse plants that are really not easy to browse on because of all the thorns in the small leaves.
This is a gamble. It's a doe. was when we set up down there, he'd run those does past us and we'd get a shot. Have him come to us instead of us trying to get to him. But somehow they snuck out of here, so time to go quail hunting. Well, Mr. Jonathan Spear and I are here to get a Coues deer today.
And water is a bigger issue just because it's a lot more limited in this environment. You don't have ponds everywhere, you don't have rivers everywhere. And so the few water sources that are available are very important to the deer. And we use sportsman dollars to increase water distribution. That just helps the deer make it through the dry periods. It helps them be better distributed throughout the landscape so they have more access to more habitat.
I'm just gonna set up here, try to keep the wind somewhat to our favor. All these drainages come together, and if deer are gonna cross this drainage, I think they're gonna cross right there. And when they cross and disperse, we'll have 20 to 30 yard shots depending on which trail they use. So, see how it goes. I sat up here knowing we'd have a down canyon thermal for a little while. But I thought, well, there won't be any deer here till 10 o'clock. Well, right away a buck comes. And instead of coming over here, he went down below us and he smelled us. He's standing over there, snorting and wheezing. Now the sun's up, the thermals are starting to come the way we want them. About 10 minutes too late. Well, we got about 40 minutes left. This morning there were deer everywhere in here. There were bucks moving and crossing and moving and crossing. Been pretty dead for the last while, but last 6 hours. I think I found a lion kill here. Lions are notorious for biting them in the face and eating most of the nose off. But if you see here, there's a puncture wound right there through the eye socket. And then one down here, just like right there on the side of the head. And this whole side is gone. I mean, Coues deer aren't that big, but a coyote's not gonna do that. Bobcat's not gonna do that. So
When you have bad conditions and you've got a population that's decreasing, predation can increase the rate at which it decreases. And predation can also slow down the rate at which a population starts to increase. But predators are not the overwhelming force that are determining how many deer are out there. Predators don't drive deer populations down independent of everything else. Predators are just another source of mortality, that when you have poor conditions and the deer population is not doing great, then predation is an added mortality that can accelerate deer declines. But predation generally doesn't cause deer declines all by themselves if you've got nutrition, you've got good habitat.
What do you think, boss?
I think it's an impossible place to hunt. You got the back end there, Mr. Spear?
I got her.
All right. Let's go talk javelina.
Oh man, that's a good deal.
As we're driving in, we saw a buck pushing a doe over in the drainage there, so we drove down off the ridge here to go make a stalk. I have no idea where he really is. Back one. Yeah. Dang it. Boy, he's a nice buck. When they know that you're following them, your odds are just about zero. I'm gonna go back up, hike back to the truck, park it up there. We know he's in here. We'll try to see where he beds. If that doe is in that state of readiness, there's going to be other bucks. And if they bed, we know what the wind's going to do. We can go in there and maybe get on the periphery. And they just act like ruddy whitetails. In a lot of respects, these whitetails, in their rutting behavior, act a lot like other whitetail back in the Midwest. Like every one of these ridge tops, you just see them buzzing those ridge tops, drop down, go to the next one, go to the next one. I think they're just cruising, sniffing, waiting until they find a receptive doe, and then they go with her. So, hopefully we'll find one of them cruising this ridge top right here. Out on this bench where we saw the hobbled buck yesterday, there's a buck chasing does. My goal is to come around this way and get close and see if he'll run them past us. So I gotta hustle. I'm gonna leave my pack here, guys.
Yeah, get your horse.
Ready? This isn't fair. We're 500 yards away and they're already looking in our direction. Another buck showed up, a great big one. The dude with the bum leg is there. He just chased the other buck off. There's 2 bucks. There's the 3-point with the bum We've spent the last 2.5 days actually deer hunting, and feel like we're starting to get a pattern. But duty calls, and now we gotta leave. Leave with another Coues deer tag in my pocket. I'm getting pretty good at that. But the good news is, when you buy the non-permit deer tag, it's good for the calendar year. So it's good for January 1st. So this season we're here in January. I'll keep it in if somehow I have time in my calendar. A bunch of these over-the-counter archery units open up again in December. So I could possibly come back and get some more value out of that tag in December. We got another hunter over here. I think he was stalking in on the same deer that we were. We're gonna back out of here, and if he wants to stay here and go after him, he can, but unfortunately, we gotta go. Peace out.
There's just not enough people out here disturbing the same deer enough times to affect its reproductive rate. So we feel pretty confident that we can provide all this opportunity and not be disturbing the breeding season of the deer, not be disturbing their normal use of the habitat, and just allow people to recreate and enjoy these unique little white-tailed deer. The ruggedness and the brushiness, that provides a lot of security cover for whitetails, and that's the reason we can have so much archery opportunity and have people out archery hunting in January, even during the rut, because there's just so much security cover. These deer can very easily get away from hunters, or more often just vaporize in the middle of a hillside and the hunters can't find them. And so it's that security cover, and it's the kind of habitat that they live in, and their wiliness. They're pretty cagey critters, and it's all of that that allows these whitetails to get older and have an older age class than you might see in a Midwestern whitetail population.
Well, folks, that's the end of the deer hunting. As seems to always be the case, the deer win in archery season. But the beauty of coming here to Arizona is there's no shortage of other things. So I think you're going to see a lot of action in the javelina hunting, and the jackrabbit hunting, all the small game stuff. I'm hoping we even have a duck hunting video for you. Come to Arizona, enjoy all this opportunity. We're going to show you how much is really here. Thanks for watching.